White Ship. She was one of the fastest vessels that was ever built. The man who should be king of the English now, the son of King Henry, was on board when she sailed off. And with the prince there were 140 knights and many nobles, all on their way from
It seems
Normandy
like a small ship
to
for
England.
that many people.
They say the ship hit the rocks, and then a fire broke out. Even before the White Ship had departed, the prince and his men had begun to drink and get violent. Monks that were meant to bless the voyage were then forced to disembark. Some say the ship had been cursed. The king's son and many of his family were pulled down into the Black Sea that night.
But hey, how are you doing?
You're forgetting one important detail. Not only these monks, but also Stephen of Blois, the king's nephew, left the ship before it embarked. They say he got ill.
That old rumor.
The same Stephen who calls himself the King of the English now.
What? That cannot be a coincidence.
Yes, it can be. Of course he's king now. He survived. He is the king's nephew.
What do you think, my lord?
I think Stephen is a clever man. Clever enough to have his whole family perish. But why he would want to rule that godforsaken rock, I will never understand.
What makes you say that?
Oh, this is the flashback.
I love my country.
Okay.
Then why are you leaving?
Oh, no, it's not.
Well, because I want to see something new.
I'll tell you what you're going to see. A proper country, where people know how to behave.
What about you? Why are you leaving?
I'm looking for someone.
I'm looking for someone.
For who?
None your business.
I guess I should stay out of other people's business. Forgive me.
Yeah, you're right.
You English do talk a lot, don't you?
I just don't know how to feel about leaving my country for the first time. I mean, how should anyone feel?
Hopeful.
Hopeful?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just running away.
You should all get some rest. It will not be long now till we reach Cherbourg.
Thank the Lord. I can't wait to be back.
Cherbourg. I don't know where that is. Now, this final book was released in the last few months, as far as I understand. I think it was released in June. It was this year. The game itself did take a while to kind of get completed. But at least they did it by book, instead of having you wait for each chapter. And with each of them being about 6 hours or so, maybe a little less than that. Not a bad deal for especially a game of this caliber. I've already got the next game picked out, assuming nothing else comes out in the next few days that really kind of interest me. I know exactly what I'm playing after this, so I'm not going to say it because I don't know if that'll change, but get excited. It's been one that I've been wanting to play for some time. I've had it in my library probably since college.
In the late summer
Oh,
of
Normandy.
1142, I had left my home country, England, for good. My old life lay in shambles, as did my former home of Kingsbridge. Having failed both my friends and family, I had set out to find my baby's father, the man I still loved with all my heart. Jack Jackson. And so early one morning in July, I finally arrived on the shores of Normandy. With nothing on me but a pouch of coin and a young, curious face yet unnamed, who was just as unfamiliar to this new world as was I.
Okay, the White Ship. The sinking of the White Ship, 1120. The White Ship was one of the fastest ships of its time. It was steered by the son of the captain of the Mora, the ship that brought William the Conqueror from Normandy to England when he invaded England in 1066. Like his father before him, the captain of the White Ship gladly offered his vessel to many members of the royal household of King Henry for passage on their travel from Normandy to England to visit the king. But like all of the poor souls who went aboard the ship, the captain did not survive the voyage. In the dark of night, the ship hit rocks and a fire broke out. The ship was dragged down into the dark abyss of the sea, and with it, many of the king's heirs. Stephen of Blois was meant to be on board as well, but it is said a sudden sickness caused him to leave the ship before it set sail. That November night, as the White Ship sank, Stephen became the last remaining male heir to the English throne, and thus some claim he was responsible for the sinking. I took the first ship in the morning. Had to get away as fast as possible. I recognize those tools. A mason like Jack. Heard there's a lot of fighting for that castle. A ship wouldn't land there. Let's talk to the mason.
You're still here?
Oh, it's you. I'm just trying to get my feet used to good solid ground again. The last bit of our voyage wasn't exactly my pint of ale.
You're a mason, right?
That hammer you're carrying, do you happen to be a mason?
Actually, I am. You have a keen eye, mistress.
I guess I just know a mason when I see one.
To be honest, I haven't been one long. Just finished my apprenticeship in Salisbury. Before that, I used to shear sheep with my parents, but I guess that wasn't really for me. Father still hates me for leaving, though.
Where would a mason go to find work?
What will you do to find work here as a mason?
Don't know. That's for me to find out. All I heard was that the wages are better over here.
So you'll just travel from town to town and look for employment?
Right. And I'll start in Lasay. A fellow mason told me about the abbey there. He said these Normans build their churches quite differently than we do back home.
They build
I
them
need
out
to
of
see that
stone.
with my own eyes. Maybe learn a thing or two.
Maybe Jack went to see the abbey in Lasay. Do many masons go to Lasay?
Do many masons go to Lasay?
I dunno. It's really just a tiny town. The mason who told me just happened to do some repairs there once. It's likely he told others as well.
I'm looking for someone.
I'm looking for someone. A red-haired mason called Jack Jackson. He came to France about a year ago or so.
A fellow mason, great. Unfortunately,
Competition.
I wouldn't know a thing. After all, I just arrived here with you.
I know, but should you meet someone like that on your journey?
Yeah, I'll call you on your cell phone.
Aliena of Shiring is looking for him.
All right. Jack Jackson. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Thank you.
I left my old life as well.
I left my old life as well.
Scary, isn't it? To start off fresh and all that.
Well, you definitely sound more excited than scared.
Well, yeah, I'm getting paid.
I am excited. Wouldn't anyone be?
Yeah,
I don't
why not?
know. Maybe.
Bye-bye.
Have a safe journey.
Oh, thank you. You too.
They're bargaining for passage. Doing business with the English must pay. For a moment I thought, but it's not him. Let's talk to Not Jack.
Good day. I am looking for someone. A traveler who came through here last summer.
Nope, you are not the father.
Oh, hush now. I need to talk to this man.
Looks young.
He was born at the beginning of summer.
What's his name?
I haven't given him one yet.
You should. He needs to know who he is. Makes growing up a lot easier. You said you're looking for someone.
I'm looking for the boy's father.
I'm looking for the boy's father.
Well, from the look of your baby, I reckon his father has red hair like me, right? Well, I don't know every redhead around these parts. There are quite a few of us.
We have a
Most
club.
of my family here in Cherbourg is ginger.
Oh, his name is Jack Jackson, and he is a mason.
No. No, sorry. I haven't seen him. And I come here every day.
Best apples in
And
town.
maybe Amay saw him. She helps the sailors get their cargo to the nearby towns. Carries travelers, too.
I'll ask her. Well, thank you. What's the way to Lessay?
Well, that's quite far. Ask Amay to take you there by coach.
Oh, they're selling fish and whatever cargo they can get their hands on. Appears to be her coach. She must know her way around France. Nope, nothing over here. Let's talk to the coach lady. You must be Amay.
Hey, you. That's
Sup,
quite a
boo?
bundle you got there. Where are you headed?
Do you know the way to Lessay?
Do you know the road to Lessay?
Or Lessay?
Been there, seen it. But I hope you're not planning to go there on foot. Tell you what, you give me some coins and I'll treat you to me wagon. You can even change your destination once we're on the road. What'd you say?
Let's leave the conversation for the moment.
Travelling by coach is a lot less strenuous than walking.
I'll
Your
think about
little
it.
worm deserves some warmth and a rocking carriage.
I don't think this will tell him anything.
Yeah, there's not really anything else over here.
Changed your mind, madam?
I did.
You know, I reserved a cosy spot just for you.
The Continental Suite.
All right. Take me out of town.
All right. Where'd you need to be?
There's Barfleur, Harfleur, Honfleur, Le Mans. So this is the Abbey.
Lessay was tiny, but as it turned out, worth the trip. In the small abbey church of the Trinity, I met a monk who claimed to have talked to a man fitting Jack's description. He'd been fascinated by the abbey's rib vaulting and had asked the monks countless questions about the place's construction. The monk apologized that he couldn't tell me where Jack had traveled next, but I didn't mind. I lay down to sleep on the floor of the Abbey guest house and, for the first time in almost a year, I felt relief. As I drifted into sleep, I hugged our baby tight and whispered into his tiny pink ear, "We're going to find your daddy."
We're gonna go on Maury Povich. Let's make a stop in Le Mans.
Going to Le Mans reminded me of all the trouble I'd left behind in England. 30 years ago, Le Mans had been conquered by the Plantagenet Geoffrey of Anjou, Maud's husband. And although they'd held it ever since, other noble families kept on pulling at the city, like Maud and Stephen tearing at England. There was no sign of Jack, but I got news of a new kind of cathedral being built in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris. It was possible that Jack had gone there to learn from the craftsmen.
To St.
That
Denis?
was if he hadn't travelled further south, looking for work in one of the many churches in Tours, the hometown of Saint-Martin.
So I can go to Tours, or I can go to San Martin. Let's go to Tours. Like the ones Tom used to make back in Kingsbridge. Everything feels so far away now. Seems self-assured. Bit of anger on his lip, though. You and me both know being a mother is not easy. Just like in Kingsbridge, although the design looks very different. Almost from another world. Aren't they usually round? I've never seen them like this. Let's talk to the man.
Good day. Are you the master builder?
What is it?
I'm looking for a mason who may have passed through here. An Englishman with carroty hair. He calls himself Jack Jackson.
A redhead?
Yes.
Never seen
Did
one of
you
those
see him?
before.
He might have asked for work here.
No, I'm not looking for new masons. We're just doing repairs.
Ah, but was he here?
No, never seen him. Now, stand back, woman. Something could fall on your baby's head.
Are there other construction sites around Tours?
Are there other construction sites around Tours?
Well, yes. It's a big town.
And where would an outsider most likely find a job?
Dunno. Ask around.
May I talk to your workers?
May I talk to your workers?
No, they're busy. And I can assure you they have nothing to say on that matter.
Perhaps I'll talk to them once they've finished for the day.
It would be a waste of time.
You hesitated when I mentioned a redhead.
You hesitated when I mentioned a redhead. Are you sure you haven't seen him?
Yes, I am sure. All right, he was here. Was working for me. But I had to throw him out after 2 or 3 days.
He was playing
Why?
brick tag.
Because he was all want. Let me redesign the roof, let me make the nave lighter. All pretty ideas, but he never shut up long enough to do the work he was supposed to do. Shit, that man was almost as needy as my son when he was still a brat.
He does know a lot about his craft.
Well, I know masons like him. They grow up gifted, but without a mote of discipline in their guts. Can't work with someone like that.
Do you know where he went next?
No
To hell.
idea. Maybe to Limoges or Angoulême. Maybe even to La Rochelle. Seemed to have plans for every cathedral on God's green earth, but none for himself.
I understand. I'll leave you to it then.
Bon voyage.
Okay, there's La Rochelle, Angoulême, and Limoges. Or Limoges. Let's go to Rochelle.
We had just left Tours when I suddenly felt dizzy. I stopped and made rest, trying to catch my breath, then lost my breakfast in a ditch at the side of the road. To my horror, our baby too had grown pale, his breath shallow like that of an old man. I tried not to panic, but the next inn was a long distance away and we couldn't stay on the road where it was wet and cold.
Oh no. Yeah, head back to Tours.
Back in Tor, the fever got worse. I remember people carrying me into a room, laying me on a bed. I tried to feed my baby, but after that, everything turned into a blur. When I awoke, Jack was standing next to my bed. He scolded me for following him. "You know you could go anywhere you want," he whispered. "Why
that's
be
a fever
stupid
dream.
and follow me?" I tried to answer, but he just opened the window and jumped out, heading toward ancient Greece, or maybe all the way to Arabia. And in my feverish mind, I followed him.
Ooh, we get to see a fever dream. Let's go to Greece.
The further I went, the angrier I got. For years, I'd been fighting for my family. I'd committed myself to an oath to my father. I'd built up a business to sustain it and even married a man I despised so I could create a future for the people around me.
She's going crazy.
I'd known nothing but my duty to the men in my life, while the man I was trying to find lived a life of casual irresponsibility. He traveled the world on a whim to learn about mathematics and philosophy, while I had to raise the child he'd fathered. When could I ever do anything just for myself? I asked the world as I went on.
I guess I'll go back to Kingsbridge in my fever dream.
I'd traveled in a circle all the way to the edge of the world and back, only to return to the place of our failure. With my eyes closed, I listened to the sound of ripping yarn and crumbling walls, and of coaches carrying good people away into a cloud of crimson dust.
Damn, she is losing it. More fever dream?
When the last moat had settled, I opened my eyes again and found myself in a dirty little room. An old maid was sitting next to my bed and smiled at me, then handed me my baby. Oh, dear God, he still looked so pale.
Keep him warm or feed him. He's looking pale. He probably will not eat until he's warm.
The more I tried to keep him warm, the colder he felt. Oh, please, God, let him live. Don't punish him for my own sins. I gently caressed his head until finally he put his mouth to my breast and drank
Thank you.
more and more, becoming greedier with every swallow. We had both been spared. We rested one more day. Then I gathered my things and headed back to the cathedral to thank the Lord for his mercy.
I was glad that that's what happened. Yep, let's do what we need to do.
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right, steady
I
now.
thank you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just
Treat
go
yourself.
back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore.
No, he cares for you.
Amen. Huh.
Is this?
I've seen one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
Yes, I knew him once.
I agree. He always did.
Oh, you knew Master Jacques.
Yes, but it's been a while since I last saw him.
It's a shame that the Master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
I thought he... Well, what did he do?
What did he do?
He came up with ideas for how to make the construction easier. But the Master didn't want to hear it. To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that corbel. It was the one thing the Master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
It bears so much pain.
It bears so much pain.
I know. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
The Camino? The Way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing
I'm
of
glad
it.
I went back.
And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
Far away.
Isn't it odd? Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Oh no. Is it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
They're not toys, Adriel.
They're action
objects
figures.
Of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors.
Hey, it's Jock.
Jack, if you may. For
A Jew, a
one,
Muslim, and a
let me
converted
draw your
Christian
attention
walk
to
into a
the
bar.
magnificent
Yet their
songbird on the
quarrels
table.
are always playful, full of wisdom and
then,
curiosity.
To that wondrous
One of
donkey
Rashid's
next to
new
the
toys,
entrance.
from a country far east of here, who runs with water alone.
Although, the most astounding thing of all
Rib
stands
vaults,
right between them.
pointed arches. These southern builders are geniuses.
That statuette.
Ha-ha, precisely.
Water to cool off in the afternoon.
One thing
Too
at a
hairy to carry
time.
around.
Let us let Jack decide what to demonstrate first.
Another new device. This one works with steam. Pure ingenuity. It's fitted perfectly in the device, but it can be easily removed. Usually holds water. Plain wood with stone eyes, with no mechanism or machinery. No one
Likes to take
knows
his
how she
time,
works.
doesn't he?
On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last?
Alright.
Otherwise, the other 2 devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
Fine, fine.
I agree. No, it's too heavy.
Let's get some water.
What is he doing now?
Not much, I
Put
suppose.
water in the donkey.
Now, watch the head.
Watching it.
Just any moment now. There. Did you see?
It threw up.
Huh.
Rashid, this is disgusting. Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
I'll explain it.
You see that bowl floating on top of the water? At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
Show us more, Rashid.
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
Go ahead.
So, who is this man, Rashid? I could watch this man scoop up water all day.
Jack is a friend of the house. A brilliant man, a scholar and a talented artist. And now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
Use the candle.
Just the other day, he explained Euclid to me. What is that?
Ta-da!
So beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
The Banu Musa. The Banu Musa. The Banu Musa brothers were three scholars of Persian descent who lived in Baghdad in the 9th century. They are known for the Book of Ingenious Devices, a large illustrated collection of mechanical appliances and automata. Those automata were largely designed for entertainment, but featured innovative engineering. The brothers also wrote books on astronomy, astrology, and geometry, the last of which has a great influence on both Islamic and European mathematicians.
But how marvelous!
How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
Yeah, I'm not lying and saying it is a miracle. Explain it.
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once, I must agree, this is brilliant.
Of course! It was created by a Muslim after all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One song after every hour.
I'd watch it. That would be pretty clever.
That would be pretty clever.
I know, right? You could be the one to build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
Harumps.
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet. Of course. Jack, if you may.
It has lasers that shoot out its eyes.
a Greek who wrote a book called The Elements of Geometry. Oh, you will love this. Just watch. The Egyptians translated it into
I need to put it
Arabic,
somewhere cold.
and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
Shady spot to avoid the midday sun.
How very
It surrounded
peculiar.
itself with wonders.
And now?
Just be
Remember me.
patient, but don't look away.
Or it'll attack
It
you.
takes some time for her to...
To do what?
Is it crying? Isn't that amazing?
No, it's irritating. Rashid, what is going on?
We don't know.
We have no idea how it works.
Rashid, please.
We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle.
And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from warmth into cold.
Like a plant at sunrise? Like dew? The only difference is the surface, that's all.
Go on.
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy. So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Oh, I'm certain that won't stay a problem for long.
Maybe the dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
Yep, vapor. On the Camino de Compostela, 3 months later.
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat, in the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been travelling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to about 70. Some were prosperous citizens, some probably on the run from justice, a few drunks, and several monks and clergymen. Several languages were spoken, including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called Oc. Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs. While my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
We didn't know how to play any of the games.
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem Kind.
That must be some kind of German.
Hush now.
Maybe Flemish? I don't know what Flemish sounds like. Oh, that just like sets me off. Hey, thanks to the host, LG Adam. Really do appreciate that. Just kind of started
Richtig
book 3.
dreist.
Let's try Rockin' the Baby.
Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben? Der Weg aus Babenberg
to
war
it.
doch anstrengend genug. Ein Kind hat ja auch gar nichts verloren.
Wanted to drop by and leave a host. Catch you later this evening. Perhaps I'm stuck at my wife's company's Christmas party. That's unfortunate. I mean, they're not usually the worst things in the world. As long as, I mean, I don't know how their company is. If they've got like food and possibly drinks, they're not too bad. Yeah, it's not a particularly long stream tonight. I probably will be doing for the next hour and a half, maybe. It is a work day, so I try not to stream too late. Let's go for a walk. No need to apologize. It's your baby. Some of the wood was already there. For all the pilgrims who passed through. I don't understand them. Is that a German tongue? No, tomorrow I'll leave. Across the bridge. Let's go to the riverside. The town was granted bridge privileges, so all pilgrims must pass through here. Pork and rosemary sauce is amazing, but the rest is just meh. I've gotten like I've really been enjoying pork lately. It used to be something I thought I didn't enjoy that much because it was always so overcooked. But yeah, rosemary is like a fantastic seasoning for anything.
Please come back to me.
That poor soul. Maybe I can help her somehow. Let's talk to her.
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring! I lost my ring! Dear Lord, please show mercy.
This poor woman. I can't let her be in pain. Most pilgrims stay near the spring in town. I thought the river would be quieter. Now I'm the one making all the noise.
Where are you? Where did you go?
Tomorrow. The cold will kill you.
I can't leave without my ring.
She's not listening.
Oh, there's the ring. Yeah, I'm giving her it. I gotta be the good guy.
Come back to me. Please come back to me.
There you go,
I
old lady.
found it.
Yes! Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
I'm glad I could help.
That's how I roll.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did I get an achievement for that? Tell me about your ring.
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
Are you getting warmer?
Are you getting warmer?
I am, thank you.
Tell me about your stepmother.
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
So why did you leave then?
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying. I was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Maybe you weren't happy.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, The sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
Why didn't you go back?
Why didn't you go back?
She had been so angry when I left. So angry and disappointed. She would have never
my
let
wife has
me
been talking
return.
about moving closer to
that's
the
why
ocean.
you went on the pilgrimage.
I mean, we're in North Carolina
Yes.
right now. We're
So that
a
St.
bit
James
inland,
might
so
see
it
my
doesn't really
devotion,
help
and I
too
will
much.
be united with my mother.
But we've talked
in
about
heaven.
getting like at least like an hour
I'm
or
just
so from
not
the
as
ocean.
kind as you. Not
Because
kind
beachfront
at all.
beachfront property is so expensive. You're too hard on yourself.
You're too hard on yourself.
I don't know.
But my kids would absolutely love it.
I
They
too
love
am
every time we
trying
go
to
to the
make
beach.
amends with the one man I loved the most. I was told he went straight to Santiago.
You will know soon.
Not soon enough. It's still 4 weeks till I get there.
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can
No, he
allow
will never
myself
forget
still
about
to
you.
hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
At least I hope that's the case.
I understand.
Hey, hush now. Not long now, and our journey will be over.
Okay, Camino de Santiago. Camino de Santiago. El Camino de Santiago, also known as the Way of St. James, is a Christian pilgrimage route to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, where the remains of Jesus' apostle, St. James the Greater, was presumably put to rest. The pilgrimage to Santiago, besides Jerusalem and Rome, is one of the most important pilgrimages in Christianity. It is believed to be one of the only ways to free a pilgrim of their sins. By the 12th century, it has become a well-organized undertaking. Even a book was written as a travel guide for pilgrims, the Codex Calixtinus, supporting the pilgrims in completing their travel. The scalloped shell is used to guide the pilgrims on their way and serves as a symbol of St. James and the Camino, because at the end of their travel, the pilgrims will almost have reached the ocean. Okay, let's walk the Camino.
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia. I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side.
I'm glad I helped this old lady. I mean, I don't know if there was an option to not help her.
Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love, or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring. It was a sacrifice I had to make to stop the evil reign of William Hamley. These questions had
can't wait
haunted
to,
me for a long time now.
Put a sword
but
to
if I
him.
really was going to see Jack soon, it was time to make up my mind.
Time to go to Leon.
Around Leon, the path began to gradually turn
wow,
uphill.
I tried to
It was
even
only 2 more
guess
weeks
how it was
till
pronounced.
we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba. After Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest more, she became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward.
Oh, we better help her reach there. She's got to at least get there before she passes.
The next morning, she refused to get up.
Oh no.
Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead.
Oh no.
Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her.
No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yeah, I am staying with her.
Of course, I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day, her condition grew worse. She kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to stay. I haven't known her long, but I don't want to leave her alone.
I'd hardly known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me, and I like to believe that she saw me smile back.
Poor lady. She just wanted to get to the end and never didn't do it.
I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity and happiness. But she'd not reached Santiago.
Man, what is with this game harshing everything?
When I
mean, I love the
that
game.
Thought still haunted me. To see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found?
Okay, I guess it's time to actually get to Santiago and leave that old lady there, I guess. After 1 month of traveling on the way to St. James.
After months of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela. In the evening, we attended Mass in the great cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
A resting pilgrim. Night air is mild. The sun will come up soon. Someone left them here. Or forgot them. Another group of drunk pilgrims? Crackling fire. Cozy and warm. Another cathedral. Jack may have been there. He never gets tired of them. Let's warm up. She must see many people passing by. I'm getting closer.
Buenos dias. Do you understand me?
Sinto-cho ben, pero non temos camas dispoñibles.
No, I don't need a room. I was told a friend of mine stayed here some time ago. A red-haired Englishman called Jack. Do you remember him?
Eu só che falo en galego, miña rula.
Français? English?
Let's show her the baby.
Oh, que cousiña! Eche rubio.
Sí, redhead.
Have you seen his father?
Have you seen his father? Padre del Niño? Jack Jackson?
Ven sendo un peregrino?
What?
É un peregrino?
Oh, no. He's not a pilgrim.
Entón, quen ven sendo?
He's a mason.
He's a mason.
Ay, mal rayo, me partas entendo o que me estás a contar.
Oh man, my Spanish is off. Point at something.
Let me show you something.
The cathedral.
He's a mason. He builds things like that.
Ah, eche masón. Albanel.
Sí, a mason. It's the same word in Galician.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns. Non me poderías dicir algo máis sobre él?
Well, he's a mason and he has red hair. He's also very knowledgeable. But how do I tell you that?
Show him the book.
The man I'm looking for loves to read.
Anda, isto eche do masón.
Sí, it's his.
Oín falar dun masón que dis que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto, di que se chama Jack.
Yes, Jack. Have you seen him?
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo a comprobalo por si mesma?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
Nope, my Spanish is not good. He went to Toledo.
He went to Toledo?
A Toledo marchou, sí.
Di que o teu Jack podería estar en Toledo.
All right, so I will go to Toledo then. Gracias. I just pray that I understood you correctly.
Oh, it's Portuguese. That's why it didn't sound exactly familiar. It wasn't my Spanish, it's that Portuguese is like a Spanish dialect that's just hard to read. I'm usually pretty decent at reading Spanish. Alright, Toledo.
Buenos dias. Parlez-vous français? English?
Of course. How may I help you?
I was told a man named Jack Jackson lives in this house.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living at the edge of town. They said he used to translate old scriptures about mathematics before he moved here.
Please wait here. I will talk with Master Rashid.
Alright, we got him. We saw Master Rashid. So big and light. Nothing like the houses at home. What's taking the servants so long? What a wondrous fountain. Almost like a real spring. Another pointed arch. Seen a few since I left England. Please let Jack be here. They remind me of the Cloister in Kingsbridge. Only these keep away the good and not the bad weather. Hey, it's a lizard. take a peek inside. Now we'll stay out because I have a feeling that that is not a good behavior to do. We don't want to get kicked out. Do not want to get kicked out. I can hear a little bit of like whispering or background noise. You know, I'm going to save. Put that right there. It's because I don't trust it. I swear I heard another noise. Yeah, let's go inside. Yeah, that's Jack's slingshot.
It's his.
Jack is here. This is all the proof I need. The landlord's daughter. She's pretty.
Oh, there you are. May I ask who let you stroll around our house?
I was asked to wait here.
I was asked to wait here.
Yes, my servant told me already. My father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me. Unfortunately, I must disappoint you. There's no one called Jack living in this house.
Maybe he took a different name.
Maybe he took a different name then.
I'm sorry, but this is not easy for any of us. I think you should know that Jack and I are promised to each other. Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother doesn't need to hear us. Jack told me about you. You are Aliena. You're the one who rejected him and married his stepbrother. And now you want him back.
I need my son to meet his father.
I need my son to meet his father.
His father? The little one is Jack's son.
He is.
Jackson is what we're going to name him.
He always said that he had come here to find out about his family. But instead, he found out about everything else. About philosophy, mathematics. When he and my father met, It was love at first sight. They studied together and made great plans. But in the end, Jack would always start talking about his cathedral again. This great church he would build one day. Rib vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling.
That's our Jack.
Sat here for hours and talked. And then in the evenings, it would be just the two of us. So many strange ideas about the future. Some barely more than silly dreams. Others almost in arm's reach.
Where is he now?
Well, where is he now? Well, he's not here anymore. My father had offered him work as a master builder here in Toledo. He would have been well off and free to spend his evenings under vaults like this, with me as his wife.
He didn't want to, though.
But in the end, he refused. Tell me, did you really marry his stepbrother?
I had to.
It was the hardest decision I ever made. But it also felt like a sacrifice I had to make to fulfill a promise I made to my father. It was all for nothing. I thought I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt him. Believe me.
I do. You know, he left me because of you.
Oh, crap.
Even after all you did to him, he couldn't let go.
Huh. He can have that effect on people.
But apart from that, we made our peace with him. Father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of his collection as a parting gift. A small wooden statue with stone eyes in exchange for his slingshot.
Would you mind telling me where he went?
He went to Paris to work on the Cathedral of Saint-Denis. He said he never found out about his father, so there was no reason to stay down here anymore.
Paris?
Yes. If you find him there, tell him I don't miss him.
And he smells. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, and all the best to your family.
Thank you. What is the child's name, by the way?
Well, he has none yet. I wouldn't name him without Jack.
Isn't that a bit silly?
Maybe. But he's his son as well as mine. It's his right to have a say in it too.
Then off to Paris. That baby needs a name.
And it better
He
not be
will
like
get one.
Paris.
Thank you.
Or Apple or Jeff. Or he's going all the way back.
I travelled back along the Way of St. James, passing through Astorga, Lyon, and Burgos. I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux, Angoulême, Poitiers, but never stayed longer than one night. The closer I came to Paris, the stronger my old doubts and fears resurfaced. If Jack really was there, what was I to say to him?
Sup? I'd pull him very, very close.
I'd pull him very, very close, wishing for all the wounds to heal as quickly as they could.
That's the Basilica of Saint Denis. Yeah, so we definitely won't be finishing this game this time around. I'm sure there's a number of more chapters in this one. But we will definitely be able to in the next stream. Which, for this game, it's a good question. I think we'll make the next stream for this one be... There's a part of me that says I want to do it on Friday, but then there's also Yakuza 0. You know what? Let's make this next. So Friday we'll be doing more of Pillars of the Earth. That's the plan. And hopefully we can finish it in that time span. No, not him. He's not here. Maybe he's not here at all. He's not here. I won't leave. Not now. There he is. Beautiful. Breathtaking.
There. Are we awake then? You almost missed this. Look at these colourful windows.
There he
Look
is.
at the light.
Jack, don't you dare run. Oh.
Ali.
We came to see you, Jack.
We? Is he?
He is your son.
My son?
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Ali, where do we go from here?
Wherever we go, I want to go with you.
Hooray!
Will you marry me?
Hell yeah.
Both of you.
Don't marry a baby.
We will. We stayed in Paris as husband and wife. And our son.
That was the response
Tommy.
I wanted.
The days went by quickly. Jack had learned much working as a builder in Saint-Denis.
I figured he would name him after his
Days
stepfather.
came months. Then after a year, we both grew restless. Where can we go from here? We asked ourselves again. We both confessed that we wanted to see our families, our friends. And then we knew where we wanted to go.
Back to Kingsbridge?
Even if it was in shambles.
Okay, the Cherbourg Harbor.
We need to hurry. The ship to England will leave soon.
What's going on here?
Whatever it is, if the crowd doesn't clear up, we'll miss our ship.
Nobody pays attention. The horse might distract them. Or make it all worse. A priest. Maybe he can help. Let's talk to the priest.
Do you know what's going on?
Oh, chaos. I can't get these people to calm down. God knows I tried.
What happened?
The jongleur told the crowd a few stories. Then he sold people some miracle charms, but it was just fairy tales and painted stones.
Well, it always is.
I know, but I'd need a real miracle to calm them down now. Otherwise, they'll rip him apart.
I think there might be something useful in our luggage. Let's check the luggage. The insides of the box kept her warm, and the wood slightly damp. Show the priest this.
Oh, what a remarkably foreign-looking likeness of the Holy Virgin.
Do you think this might calm them down?
I've already tried appealing to their faith. It would require a direct word from God to calm them down.
The crowd's about to beat him up. Nervous. We should help him. Oh, there's a shady spot.
Do you see? It's working.
Your friend Rashid must be quite the miracle worker.
Liquid forming on her eyes. Let's show the angry mob the crying statue.
Look! What's going on? The Holy Mother. She's crying.
Look at her.
Revere the Holy Mother, for she has blessed us with a sign from the heavens. Cease your doings right now and witness the miracle.
It's true! Lord in heaven. Why is she crying?
Because of your actions.
She weeps for your sins. What has this man done to you that you would treat him like a wild animal?
He tricked us and took our coin.
And you would kill him for your own foolishness. The Holy Virgin weeps, for you are not living by the word of God.
So deceptive, Jack.
It is the Mother of God.
Forgive us, Holy Mother. Where did she come from?
Target. Tell the truth.
She was given to me by a scholar in Toledo. We think she cries because...
Jack, don't!
It's a miracle!
A miracle. A miracle.
Yes.
Listen to what he has to say. The Holy Virgin has chosen this young family to protect her. Tell us all where you are headed.
Her destination is beyond these waters. In the small town of Kingsbridge, in the earldom of Shiring. There she wants to rest.
Kingsbridge?
Never heard of it.
Where's that?
Hail Mary!
Make way for the Holy Virgin!
Hallelujah!
Make Robert well!
Huh?
Blessed Mary, let my daughter conceive.
Give us a good harvest!
They're donating to ask for her blessing.
Oh. The weeping Madonna shall hear your prayer. And with your donations, I shall build her a new shrine at Kingsbridge, a cathedral.
It's you!
Who do you mean?
You! The red-haired ghost!
Me? A ghost?
My husband is very much alive. I've known him since he was 12 years old.
But he drowned. By God, you drowned. 24 years ago. On the White Ship. My poor, poor son. My Jacques.
Oh, it's his
name
mother.
was Jacques.
Jacques Cherbourg.
Jacques Cherbourg.
Oh. Oh, Jack's grandmother. Jack's father drowned in the that boat. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 4. There's 7 chapters.
You